So I was thinking we should do something different today, because I'm kind of still trying to be careful about overdoing it on the Yukon, because I know I'm going to hit it hard when True moves are out, so I wanted to switch maps, and I kind of looked at like the recent videos, and I saw Parquet's probably been the map we've been on least lately, and also, ever since the 300 came out, a lot of questions have come up about soft point bullets, so I thought we would just pretty much do an only soft point bullet hunt. I've got my normal Parquet loadout, except I am rocking the 243, because of course the Mosin's only got one bullet type, and we already know how amazing that is, so that's a 243 soft point, just completely destroying that black buck. I mean, I would say the Mosin would drop them immediately. I actually don't know for sure how 243 polymer tip would do, but I mean, clearly that worked just fine. But yeah, I've got with me the 7mm soft points, of course, 243 soft points, 454, which they're hollow points, but it's the ones with better expansion, worse penetration, and the 22 just for ducks. We're not really testing anything with that, because again, one ammo type and no consec, but yeah, single lung, 140 meters, not an issue. Of course, it's not much of an achievement with the black buck, but that's kind of what we have on this map. I think these will be more interesting, and that's actually not a bad one, so I think we'll take it. I just want to see what happens. Should be... yeah, I think that was a solid hit, and he's really quickly going down, so yeah, not a problem. But again, these are kind of like the smaller end of animals you'd be hunting with the 243, so I don't want to put too much stock in this. How many? I guess that's all of them. Just gonna take another one for the road. I think thought it was too far forward, but I guess that's good enough. I should have picked up the female first, because I would have got a gold out of this. Consec was gone and I forgot about it, but yeah. 84 meters, no problem. I think I want to test some long-range shots if I can. Even that was double lung? I don't even feel like that made much of a difference. I feel like she went down pretty much exactly the same, like, time, and they were not far apart, so that's kind of odd. But yeah, I want to try some range stuff and see kind of what happens there. These, though, I think are going to be a little more interesting. Bad wind kind of has him nervous, but I imagine he'll probably turn back towards us and give us... it's about like 200 meters, I think. So that'll be a fair test of the 7mm. Or... okay, he went back home, so we should try to go drink again. Eventually. Kept that quite high, and yeah, he's really quickly. I might have got the vertebrae in there too, but that's pretty good. That's a species that's like closer to the upper end kind of what you'd be hunting with the 7mm, so that's definitely all fine. I would actually like to really experiment and see if there are scenarios where maybe a soft point round is better than a polymer tip. If I'm remembering right, polymer tip single lung on red deer actually gives close to 100% anyway. Maybe not at 210. So I guess longer range. Then again, you could maybe just end up with double lung. I don't know. I think range might be an area where soft points are better, because you do lose penetration the further your shot is, so less chance of getting double lung with polymer tips, and single lung isn't too difficult to get in most cases. So I don't know. It's an interesting thing to try to figure out. I don't imagine this should be much of an issue. I mean, pumas are actually something you can double lung with a Mosin and get full quick kill, but we might as well see what happens. The angle's not great, so maybe. Could be, not even a problem, but I was wondering maybe not enough penetration, but I think we maybe even got through shoulder blade. Actually, I was way behind the shoulder blade there, but yeah, it's pretty well into the lung and a good bit of flesh to go through as well. Like, that's what I was talking about. Getting a single lung at range shouldn't be too big a deal compared to like trying to get double lung with the polymer tips, but yeah, I don't know. Ooh, that looked kind of... I think it's just a 7. But yeah, I really want to learn that stuff, because I'd like to be able to just have different options. Maybe this can actually be a decent test. I'm not 100% sure that I'm going to be able to get like a clear 300 meter shot at him, but I want to try just to kind of see what happens. I think if anything, I'm going to have to take it standing, because the terrain here is just going to kind of mess things up, but yeah, as soon as I start going down the hill, it ain't going to work real good. Maybe, I mean, this is going to hurt the angle, but maybe from over here? I don't know. I feel like I'm definitely shooting through at least the leg. That'll be at least 300 anyway, so I'll wait till he actually lifts his head. Just to try to give me the best chance of not catching the shoulder blade while he's kind of leaning over like that. Feel like that? Yeah, that's actually good. Definitely full quick kill. That I wasn't sure about, and I don't know... I mean, I don't know how... Hello. Alright. I don't know how viable that would be. You know, like... On a level 9, am I going to take that shot with soft points, or am I going to go try to get something better with polymer tips? I don't know. But it's good to see that that can happen, because there's no way I'm ever taking that angle on like a potential diamond with polymer tips. There's just too much that can go wrong at 300 meters anyway. I didn't even see that. Well, since we're experimenting with things, I'll see how far away I can get. Maybe we can test even further. I think this is about as good as we're going to do, because the further back I go, the more down this hill we get. And also, he's actually standing broadside, so it's like 370. I don't actually know how high to aim, but yeah, that might have been low. I don't know. We're good. And I think... Oh, he went out of render there. Full quick kill or very close to it. Like, that's something... I don't know why... I mean, maybe if I ever decide to go for like a 400 meter... Ooh. I saw that one. If I ever go for a 400 meter diamond, soft points might be the way to do that, at least if it's a red deer, but yeah, you know, good to know that kind of stuff. Because for me, at least, it's essentially uncharted territory. I never use soft points for the most part, but this was the first one. That's 307. And again, not a good angle. I mean, we're halfway through the lung anyway. About. I don't know. That might be a very, very viable option. We'll go see what happened here at like 370 or however far that shot was. Apparently, this lake is just full of level 7s. Just gonna try to get that guy too. Let's just... If that doesn't change, let's just try this. Okay, that's kind of what I thought would happen. So, frontal shots, kind of a no-go. I hope he doesn't die from that. I don't think he will, but... Yeah, just for experimenting. But this is the one that I'm actually really interested in, because I think it's close. I don't know if it's going to be like 98, 99. 100% at 370 meters. And honestly, 7 mil, I mean, I didn't aim a whole lot higher than that. That's very flat shooting at, you know, 300 plus meters. Quite impressive stuff. I don't know. Stuff I want to actually, I think, play around with more. I'm being more and more impressed the longer we do this. Hello. You know what? Maybe I didn't see that one when I said I did. I don't know if that's going to be the same track, but we're in the soft point thing now, so this has to happen with the 243. He should give us a shot. And I think we're good. So... Really hope that red deer doesn't die now, although it's an axis deer, so wouldn't be the end of the world if we lose consec on that. Maybe someone else will show up for consec. He was kind of over there by himself. I think it did die. Isn't that where I shot him? Ah, man. I better go look. Yeah, he totally did. Ooh, that could be problematic, though. All right, let's just... run in here and hopefully get it. I'll explain how I knew that for anybody that doesn't know, like, why I suddenly thought he might have died. Basically, can I get back in the border in time to not have to fast travel? Because I could yeet consec as well. I think we're good. So, hunting pressure only appears on the map after an animal dies, so, like, just shooting an animal doesn't cause hunting pressure. And I saw that over by where we shot him, so that's kind of what got me thinking. So our consec was fine on the red deer, and I actually didn't even pay attention. Is this guy small rack, big rack? You can usually tell if you just look at the brow tines, which is kind of difficult when he's laying that way. I think it's smaller, but I can't even tell. It is. That's barely a diamond, 950, but said we haven't been to Parque in a while. If you're curious, it's still Parque. It still spawns diamonds because that didn't take long. That might be my first diamond axis deer under 70 kilos. The first 5 I ever saw was a piebald, and he was right around this weight and too small, so go figure. But yeah, to complete the point I was making earlier about how I knew that the red deer died, the reason to actually go claim it, if you don't know, the way that you would lose consecutive harvests is by downing an animal and then not claiming it. So most likely, like, it was just over there where my marker is. It was maybe 5 minutes. I probably wouldn't have lost it then. Usually what happens is if you fast travel or if you rest after that, that's usually when the bonus resets, but you never know, and on potential diamonds, it's usually better safe than sorry. Well, hello there. I literally just got up and went to go get a drink and then came back, and I guess he's migrating out of his zone, so unfortunately he's like the exact same size as the one I have in my lodge. I think. Pretty sure it's the same rack and everything, but we're here to test soft points, so shoot him in the shoulder and see what happens. That's cool. I mean, I was just thinking after I shot the Axis, when was the last time I shot a diamond with a 243? Like, I like doing different stuff like this because it makes you at least think about what you're doing a little bit. It's a little less, I thought that was a big Axis deer. It's a little less, you know, just going through the motions, but anyway, let's go get that guy. One thing, though, this will be a much better screenshot than the other one I got. He was, like, really late in the day, so worse lighting, and I think he was in some brush as well. But now, at this point, not only has this been a pretty eye-opening thing for me, because, like, all the info I had on soft points was very, very anecdotal, just like one shot here or there. There's also just been a pretty dang good hunt. Got a diamond, got a rare red deer. One thing I'm just remembering, I messed up the shot on the other one, so at least that one's like a higher total score anyway. If I'm not missing anything, mule deer are probably the last somewhat interesting species to test, and to be fair, since we've seen how the 7mm does on red deer and puma, I don't see why this is going to be any different, but yeah, I mean, water buffalo aren't going to be anything, being that we're kind of dealing with a weapon way too small. I mean, I could try the 470, but I tested that when I made the loadout video initially for this map, and it just didn't go very well, so I think that's about 400. Everything else was rendering out. Maybe it was a little... Okay, well, I don't know if I hit him in the spinal cord or if I got, like, that perfect maybe lung liver shot or something. That's really impressive no matter what that was. Actually, just for the sake of making sure I don't have a spinal cord as my last shot, that should be over 400. I don't want it to go out of render. Just try this again. Maybe a little closer to the front shoulder. Yeah, I think it's going to be full quick kill. He's dropping pretty quick. I mean, he went out of render, so I can't see anymore, but over 400 meters, not bad. Wow, that actually was lung, liver, stomach on the first one. I don't think that's replicable at all, but if you ever need to drop a mule deer with 7mm soft points, that's an option anyway. So that was 395, just under 400. I hope the last one here was over. Not actually super sure it was, seeing where that vital hit was, because I think ran forward before I shot the last time. You're not a 5, are you? Couple of small guys, but that one, 403. Right lung, barely. Caught the front of it, but 100%. You know, pretty much to be expected. Mule deer are smaller than red deer, and the red deer shots were going well, but good to see that it actually does work. So, yeah, I guess we'll go put the piebald red deer in the lodge. Like I said, he's going to look exactly like the one we had, but might as well do that. Man, if I take this down, I have a plan, but I'm going to have to do some serious digging to go find that. We'll put the better guy here. I'm going to go same pose and everything, I think. Not bad. You know what? He's got the smaller rack. Same level, but he ended up higher score, as I said. I'm going to take this puma down. He's like a 950 exactly, I think. So give me about an hour, and I'll scroll down and find the piebald red deer from before. That wasn't too bad. So he was 612. You can see he does actually have bigger antlers, so I don't know, maybe I should actually have him over there. And, do I take down a melanistic black buck? I think it wouldn't look too bad having a diamond axeteer on one side and a diamond blackbuck on the other, so we'll do that. Got to add some stuff to the trophy lodge, and I think got to look at something that I'm probably going to be incorporating into my hunts a bit more. Those soft points really did impress me, so yeah, definitely more experimenting and stuff to do with it, but I like what I saw. So anyway, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.